team, it's your boy D Neil back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Mick. Is he James Acaster's archenemy? Lee Mack's traded toddler, or Gabby Logan's cheated child? Would I lie to you? I did one of these. We're gonna get this one right this time. I'm gonna get this one right this time. Before we dive in, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested, and drop your video suggestion in the comment section. I'm determined to get this right. I shall and I will.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Mick.
Let me get a good look at you, Mick.
Gabby, what is Mick to you?
This is Mick, and I deliberately tripped him up during the wheelbarrow race at my son's sports day.
You do look competitive. Gabby, you do look competitive, but I do not believe you are that cruel. I don't know. There's just something... I don't think you're that cruel, Gabby. I'm going to say you're lying without even hearing your story.
During the wheelbarrow race at my son's sports day.
Okay, James, how do you know Mick?
This is Mick, and for 6 months, he was my sworn enemy when a practical joke got out of hand.
And finally, Lee.
This is Mick, he's my son, and I'm only allowed to see him every second Friday.
James is telling the truth. It's James. That's James Acaster. Look, he just look like a little prankster, don't he? I'm looking at Mick, and I can see a little prankster inside of him. I know prankster kids when I see prankster kids, and he can pull off some good ones. James is telling the truth. I don't need to see the other 12 minutes of this. I'm good. I know it.
He's my son, and I'm only allowed to see him every second Friday. Sorry, no, that's not it. This is Mick. I once took him home from nursery instead of my own son.
Oh.
So there we have it.
Now that he switched your story up, I could see Lee Mack doing... No. I'm going with James.
Instead of my own son.
So there we have it. Is Mick Gabby's cheated child, James's feuding friend, or Lee's traded toddler?
Friend.
David's team, where would you like to begin?
Well, Gabby, the wheelbarrow race, you were also a competitor. What was the format of the race, and how did the accident
Your
happen?
classic sports day wheelbarrow race. Child is the wheelbarrow. I was driving my son as a wheelbarrow, and Mick's mum, Barbara, was driving him. And there's always a lot... I feel our family gets a lot of pressure on sports day because my husband was an international rugby player and I did sport. And people always look at us as if they're the ones to beat. You know, I always feel that added dimension of
I can feel that.
You were a rhythm gymnastic, weren't you?
I was a gymnast.
Yeah, I think they're looking more at him. Carry on.
He said, yeah, I think they're looking more at him. Carry on.
Gymnastic, weren't you?
I was a gymnast.
Yeah, I think they're looking more at him. Carry on.
So we were in the lead, my son and I.
Okay.
And you know, like in your peripheral vision, you can feel somebody coming.
Yes.
And as we got to the turn, they were level with us, and my son's arm buckled, and which is for a wheelbarrow race is a bit of a no-no. That's
tragic.
It takes you a couple of
It's
seconds to recover. So now we're behind.
Quite
So
painful for your son as well. Perhaps that should be the main concern. So no, we need this.
we got back level with them, and I'm ashamed, obviously, about what happened next. So I can feel, you know, these horrible thoughts coming into my mind. You know, we could take him out. You know, we could.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on, this is why we've been taking all the drugs.
And I stood on his hand, and so I know.
Deliberately?
No.
You were thinking we should take him out.
So he then slightly buckled. So he
Which
then,
is a no-no.
Which back into the race, and I decided that I couldn't let us win because that could be construed in some people's eyes as cheating. standing on the opposition's hand.
In some people's eyes, physical assault.
So I had to then sabotage us because I couldn't let us win. So I deliberately kind of pushed my son into the ground.
So you assaulted 2 children.
Gabby's story sounds like it could be so true. If she would have said they won, I don't think I'd believe her. But the fact that she said that she was like, I couldn't let us win because it could be construed as cheating to some people. And so I sabotaged our own team so that another... That makes that story believable. That bit right there. Because, I don't know, there's something about Gabby where I look into her face and I can see the competitiveness in her face. I can see the competitiveness all over her. And she said she was a gymnast. Oh, sure, she's got to be ultra competitive. And that her husband's what? He was some athlete. Competitive just runs in their blood. And so she's in the mind. She hit that zone of, I've got to do whatever it takes. But I don't know if she's staying on a kid's hand. Because she's not only a competitor, but she's also a mother. And I think mother is strong. Mother takes stronger than that competitiveness. And I just don't think a mother would do that to another. I don't think she would deliberately step on another kid's hand. So even though the story does sound true, I'm going to say Gabby's lying.
The ground.
So you assaulted 2 children.
I kind of just, pretended to trip onto Reuben. So, right. And then his arms buckled, double buckle, which is a no.
Reuben is your boy.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
You know the one with the face like that.
All right. Who would you like to speak to next?
OK. James. So Mick became your sworn enemy because of a practical joke.
That got out of hand.
That got out of hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was the practical joke or prank?
First of all, I'll say for the record, before we carry on, I hate this boy.
That is, bro, I'm telling you, see the way he laughs? You see it? Because it's true. Because it is true. He's a prankster. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's a prankster. He's a practical jokester.
I hate this boy.
That's true.
I'm nothing but content for him, and I'm furious he's got on this show.
I just think I feel I can only see him every second Friday.
So what was the practical joke, James?
He put cabbage leaves in my bed.
How did he get in your room?
I was staying at his house.
On a sleepover? How old are you?
A few years ago.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have been born.
He was 9.
And you were, what, 31?
I was, what, 28? 29?
And how do you know him?
I know his dad. He's his son.
And you were staying at their house?
Yes.
Why did he put cabbage leaves? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's not a thing until he started doing it.
Yeah.
There's something severely wrong with him. I don't know why he started.
But you say
this kind of
started
stunt.
doing it. Was
Yeah.
It, what do you mean? This is a one occasion when you're
is
staying
it?
there. Well, I don't know.
This is the first of many, David. I said got out of hand. I do not use those words lightly.
So you regularly stay.
I love James, bro. I absolutely love James. And I 100% believe in every word he's saying right now. He could be tricking me. If he is, I believe him.
I do not use those words lightly.
So you regularly stay at the house of...
Oh, no. Oh. This little man does not restrict these pranks to his own house. He has no respect for anyone's privacy and will cross any boundaries available to him. I hate him with all my heart.
Yeah. You can't fake that kind of hate, guys. I see the hate in James' eyes. I see it in his eyes. I hear it in his voice. You can't fake that. He hates that little boy.
All my heart.
Yeah. So he initially put cabbage leaves in the bed you were sleeping in when you were staying at his father's house.
Yes.
Right? And then subsequently...
Yes.
He has followed you and put cabbage leaves in other places you've been sleeping.
No.
OK? What then?
He sent me a cabbage in the post. He sent me half a cabbage, cling filmed, in a box. I was out when they delivered it. I had to go to the post office to pick it up. There was a note inside that said, "You got cabbaged again."
OK, so he's doing that. Did you, bearing in mind that this is a minor, did you at any...
It was a major, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you at any point retaliate?
Yeah, but it took me 6 months.
What did you do?
After 6 months of this...
Well, but you say 6 months of this.
Yeah.
What is this? There's the initial cabbage leaves in the bed at his house.
Yeah.
And there's the posted cabbage, half cabbage.
Yeah.
Anything else?
His granddad cabbaged me to my face. He gave me a present. It was all wrapped up nice. I thought it was a nice present. I unwrapped it. It was another half a cabbage wrapped in cling film. Members of the public started cabbaging me. I made the mistake of talking about it on the radio, and then everyone got the idea, and I couldn't turn up to a gig without there being a cabbage hidden somewhere in my dressing room.
Well, thank God you're playing safe and not saying it on telly, eh?
Oh, everything. Oh, everything. Yeah, now that he said it on TV, even more cabbages coming your way, James. But I believe him. I believe James. I'm going to hear out Lee Mack, but I just believe James.
Well, thank God you're playing safe and not saying it on telly, eh?
So, did you retaliate?
Absolutely did. I removed all of his belongings from his bedroom and replaced them with cabbages.
That's, I would say, a disproportionate response.
6 months of my life, David. 6 months of my life of not knowing where the next cabbage was coming from. It was horrible. I had to go big. I've been cabbaged so many times. Somebody started a Twitter account, was tweeting pictures of cabbages on me every day. They said stuff like "Oi, oi, Savoy." It was horrible.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg.
It's a lettuce, you idiot.
Oh, but come on, cut me some slack.
No. I would say that anyone who can enjoy that joke about a lettuce would have to be a sociopath.
On to Lee.
Lee, remind us of your story.
This is Mick. I once took him home from nursery instead of my own son.
Why did you not recognise your own son by using your eyes and knowing what he looks like?
I do recognise my own son, but we had this new pram, and the pram, I put him in the pram. He was very young at the time, because, well, you have to go to nursery. And...
What is a pram? What is it? Y'all talk to me.
In the pram. He was very young at the time, because, well, you have to go to nursery. And I put him in the pram.
At nursery?
Not a pram, a push
They're
chair.
a pram when they're sort of tiny.
You say lettuce, you say cabbage, they're on your back. You say pram instead of pushchair. I get to see him every other week. I'm stressed.
A pushchair.
Put him in the pushchair.
Okay.
And then I got chatting to all the other mums and dads and stuff. Got chatting, turned round. Little did I realise that one of the other parents had exactly the same pushchair. And because he was asleep, I just didn't bother talking to him because I thought he was asleep. Pushed him and got all the way home. Long walk as well, because he goes to school in London and we live in Aberdeen.
How long was it before you realised?
Probably Glasgow. It was about, believe it or not, preferably do.
Yeah, that's very much the question.
It was as I went into the front door and I pushed him towards my wife, who was coming towards me. And she said, "That is not my son."
But the other mother would have recognised her child. So let's go to the other mother.
Let's go to the other mother.
So what happened there?
So obviously I'm not there to see the other mother.
No, but presumably in the police interview later, you've gone through those details.
No, I knew it would be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, so I thought I'd better play safe and just keep him. And that's what we did. We just ended up bringing up another child. Into the house, pushed him into the house. My wife said, "That's not my son." So I went, oh! I realised immediately what had happened, obviously. I turned round and I raced back to the school very quickly. So I got in just in time for them to go, "What are you?" And then...
So you got back just in time.
Got back in time.
Just before Mick's mother was going to start screaming,
So
my child has disappeared, my child has disappeared.
Yeah, because what had happened is she was getting a bit frantic, but someone had calmed her down by doing the obvious and pointing to the child and saying, use your logic here.
Yeah.
There's a
Child abductors don't tend to leave
Swap,
a child as well.
So, David's team. Is Mick
It's
Gabby's
James.
cheated child?
Maybe.
No.
James's feuding friend?
Maybe.
Yes.
Or Lee's
Yes.
traded toddler?
No.
Said maybe, no. Lee's definitely lying.
Maybe.
Or Lee's traded toddler?
No.
I think that the
James.
cabbages, that is a good trick, because cabbages, when they get warmed up, stink. I also have, been to many a sports day where the parents do get incredibly competitive. I would
James.
probably lean towards Gabby.
What about you, Melvin? Which way are you
no.
leaning?
I
James.
believe Gabby, but James is just weird, so I believe him even more.
Yes.
Your paranoid view
Yes.
seems to be the whole country's in on it. Now everyone's sending you cabbages.
Every time people laugh at me, I suspect they're my enemy, which makes my job very difficult.
James. It's James. It's gotta be James.
You think Gabby, but James even more.
And David thinks it's me, so...
Oh, I don't know.
It's David.
James.
It's James. Yes.
You're going for
good
James.
Call. Good
Mick.
call. It's gotta be. It's good.
Would you please reveal your true identity?
It's gotta be.
I'm
James.
Mick, and I am James's worst enemy.
It's gotta be. From the beginning. It was from the. Did you see the look on the kid's face? You tell me you don't look at this kid and see an evil little prankster. You don't look at this kid and see him taking a practical joke too far. You don't look at this kid and see him putting cabbage leaves in somebody's bed. You hear James talk and you tell me that hate can't be faked. That hate cannot be faked. The look on his face, the sound of his voice, the way the kid was laughing when James was telling the story, it was obvious. It was obvious. Gabby, your story was believable, but you're a mother. If you were a dad and you told this story, I might believe you. I might have given you the benefit of the doubt. But as a mother, oh, Lord, no, there's no way that if you were going to sabotage, you would sabotage the other mom, but there's no way you would deliberately step on another child's hand. That wasn't possible. You would not deliberately step on another child's hand. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew if another mother stepped on your child's hands deliberately, it was finna pop off. And so I knew that from the beginning. Mothers just don't think that way. Mothers don't think that way. If you're a mother and you've thought that way and you've done that, comment in the section and tell me I'm wrong. But you can be, she's a competitor, don't get me wrong. I can look in her face and see an absolute competitor, but I just knew she wouldn't do that to another kid. You know what I'm saying? James, the hate in his voice, the hate on his face. He even gave up facts that you could look up. He said it on the radio. People were tweeting him. It was obviously James, and I could just tell by the way the kid was standing there. He looks like a prankster. That's how a prankster looks.
And I am James's worst enemy.
Yes. Mick is James's feuding friend, and here's the proof that
Oh my God!
what James did to Mick's
Wow.
bedroom. Thank you very much, Mick.
James is a savage. James said enough is enough, and I guess none of us believe Lee Mack's story. Yeah, we just terrible story. That's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. And that's all we got. It's your boy D-Neil, out.